So we're going to talk about rep ranges today. Very many of you out there struggle to know how to set up your sets, in that some of you are doing all out for 3 sets, others aren't sure which ones are your working sets, which ones are your warm-up sets. Now, what we're going to set up here, Dan has already done his warm-up set. So when I'm writing a program, when you're on one of the Elements programs, the sets that you see are your working sets, unless otherwise instructed. Working sets being the ones where you should be really pushing yourself. Now, depending on the weight you're lifting, maybe you're going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 warm-up sets up to that weight, especially on legs. Now, Dan has done his warm-up sets. He's done probably 3 sets on lighter weights just to get his chest and shoulders moving. Now, what I've asked him to do is select the set of dumbbells based on what he knows he can lift to do 12 reps with, edging towards his limit. So we're going to watch him through a set right now. He's going to come back. We're not going to talk through the details of form, but same old thing. You want his feet back behind his knees, back arch, shoulder blades pinned in. Now he's going to go through the range of motion here. Now what we're looking for is good technical form on every single rep. We're not losing control of the weight. He's squeezing nice and tight at the top. He's stretching at the bottom. He's got a good controlled tempo. Again, we're not going to go off on a tangent on this video, but remember his estimate was around 12 reps. So we're going to be able to see what happens here based on where he's put himself versus what we might actually be able to lift. If my count is right, that was 6 right, Dan? 7. So we're aiming for 5 more. I suspect this weight is going to be a little bit too easy. Now it's important to remember on all of your sets, when you start a new program, first week or so, you're going to be figuring out your weights, especially if the rep ranges are different. Now, long-term programs are very often quite repetitive and they can bore a lot of people. Now, notice how it's starting to get difficult, but it's not starting to lose, or he's not starting to lose technical form. Nice, beautiful, and relax there. So that was a pretty clean set. I would say he's within about 1 rep of his limit there. So we're going to do 3 sets of 12 for argument's sake. Now, judging by that, how that was, it looked like he had 1 rep in reserve. So once he's taken a rest, we are going to sit him on exactly the same weight. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. So we want 3 all-out sets. Now, for beginners, that's usually the best way. We're going to rest now, about 2 minutes, and then we're going to start again. So Dan's taken about 2 minutes rest in between his sets here. You didn't need to see it, it was boring. We were talking about the color of the lights on the logo. What he's now going to do is aim for his second set of 12. So he's going to come back, as always, get the dumbbells up into position. Now let's watch how he does this. Again, perfect position. We want the knees or feet just back behind the knees. He wants his back arch, glutes tight, shoulder blades pinned in, and he's going to run through his set. So again, perfect control. Slowly on the eccentric, powerful on the concentric, flexing every single time. Again, not going to go into too much detail on this. Now, the heavier you are lifting, the longer your rest periods between your sets are going to want to be. I would also suggest that the leaner you are, the less of a priority fat loss is, the longer your rest periods in between your sets need to be. But what we do need to do is make sure that we've rested long enough to be able to lift as heavy a weight again. Beautiful. How many is that, Dan?
9.
Good. Big squeeze. Stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. Squeeze. So we can see it's starting to slow down again, but he's still got perfect technical form. We're not losing anything. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Stretch it and squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Beautiful. Good. Right, so last rep was a struggle, but he got it. He didn't lose his form. He wasn't wiggling around like this. So this means our weight selection is right. We're aiming for 3 sets of 12. He's probably going to fail on this last set, but what we then want to do is we want to maintain this weight, the same weight he's lifted, because he's got a set of 12, a set of 12. We want to maintain this weight for as long as it takes him to get all 3 sets, okay? This is what I would advise for most beginners, is you work to your working weight and you keep it there until you can get all 3 sets at the specified number of reps. Now, we're going to rest again for 2 minutes and then come straight back. Okay, so Dan has had another 2 minutes rest. This time we spoke shit about his veins, whatever. He's going to now aim for his 3rd set of 12. So he estimated his weight. He got it pretty damn good. He got his first set, 12, maybe a rep in reserve. His second set, he hit 12, almost failed. Let's see what you get for this one, Dan. So now again, what we're working towards here is 3 working sets at the same weight. Now, if he doesn't get this last weight, what we would then do is stay at this weight until he does. That may take 1 session more, 2 sessions more, 3 sessions more. Once he achieves that, then he increases the weight lifted. That's 4 right then?
Yep.
5. Perfect control. Remember, failure is technical failure. We don't want to be wiggling around like this trying to get reps out. Good. Squeeze it. Good. Come on. Come on. Good. Keep them tight. Stretch, 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 stretch. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Good. Again. Stretch, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now, if you're on your own, you may not have a spot, but I'm going to help him out here. Squeeze, squeeze. Get it, get it, get it. He's not moving. He's not wiggling around. Good. Last one.
Tough.
Nice. Okay, so he just about got that last set. If he hadn't got his final rep or final 2 reps or final 3 reps, we would have stayed at that weight for as many sessions as it took for him to get all 3 sets of 12. Now, because he got all 3 sets of 12, what I want to see from him next session is he starts his first set, his first working set, on a slightly heavier weight. Okay, that may mean he gets 12, because if you remember, he had 1 or 2 reps in reserve. The next set maybe he only gets 10, the next set maybe he only gets 9. But then he's going to stay at that weight for as many sessions or as many weeks as it takes to be able to get 12, 12, 12 again. That is how, for the majority of beginners or low intermediates, I would suggest structuring your reps. If we are aiming for 3 sets of 12, you want to be able to get all 3 sets at the same weight. Now, if you go a bit more advanced, there is a different technique that you could use. You don't necessarily have to, but we'll go into that in a different video. For most of you beginners and intermediates, you want to do it this way. Pick a weight. Once you get all 3 sets of all of the reps required at that weight, then you increase the weight.